you don't leave the process with some extra pigmented skin. Were you even dyeing fabric? Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to me deciding my space needs to change. Again, I'm here in the bedroom that I sleep in, and it is currently a bit of a state. I'm not the best at keeping things tidy, and to be honest, I don't particularly like most of the things that are in this room. The only thing that I really like that is in here is a gigantic wicker laundry basket that we found on the street. So yay, street furniture. So last week I was once again blessed by the gods of free furniture, and through the interweb managed to connect with someone who unfortunately was needing to clear their late mother's house and had a very large amount of antique and vintage furniture that they didn't want to keep, so they were giving it away. We had very fortuitous luck, and they were completely thrilled that we took quite a few items. Most of them need a little bit of love to get them looking shiny, and I thought this would be a wonderful opportunity to basically make over this room for as little money as possible. I'm excited about it. Let's get going. Before I get into what I did to the little chest of drawers, I wanted to say, please don't take this as advice on how to treat damaged wood veneer. This isn't how to do it, it's just what I had the ability and resources to do at the time. I pulled off any lifting veneer, cleaned away any dust or dirt, and used a small brush to paint wood glue over the exposed wood and the broken edges of the veneer to secure things in place and seal everything. After that had dried, I used some silver acrylic to paint over the exposed sections of the wood, wiping away any excess paint with my fingers. The paint I had wasn't very pigmented, so annoyingly it took quite a few layers to get a solid and consistent colour. Once I had a colour I was happy with, I went back to the wood glue. I tried to get the thinnest layer I could to protect the paint without altering its appearance too much. I wiped away any excess and left it to dry. So I finished putting a layer of wood glue across the acrylic paint to seal it in, but took a moment at the end of this process to read the warning label. May cause an allergic skin reaction. Wear eye protection, protective clothing, protective gloves. If on skin, wash with plenty of water. Meanwhile, I've been over here just using my fingers to wipe off excess. Maybe read warning labels before you start, Emily. Maybe that's a good lesson here. Right, so I was basically revving up to like full-on repaint this wall to cover up the little tree thing that was here because this was our landlord's kids' room, and then discovered that actually it's like peel-on, peel-off vinyl stuff. I don't need to do like a whole paint project. Let's go rip this stuff off. Jeez, they really did a number on the walls with these. Yeah, taking it off pulls off the paint. Oh, that's so thick. They put the screws in after they put the vinyl on, so there's just pockets of dust behind it. What on earth? The vinyl things are off, but have pulled off paint with them, which will be visible once the little shells get put back on. There are a couple of options. One is that I buy a new vinyl decal to put on top of it, which I don't want to do. Another is that I repaint this entire wall because there is spare paint downstairs. The third option is that I buy fake ivy and hang it over the little shells to hide all of the paint bits that have been pulled off. But at some point we will need to repaint this wall when we move anyway, so maybe now would be a good time to do it. Maybe? Dunno. Okay, so after fixating on what to do with the wall for an hour and a half, and one panic attack later, we're painting it white and just leaving it at that. We're back. The wall is painted. A single coat of paint that is now dried. It's not perfect, but it'll do. We're gonna pull a load of stuff out of here, bring a load of stuff back in, and do a heck ton of organising. That's what we're up to. I've had a thought. I would quite like this wall to be more interesting. Now I have some curtains that I actually bought to make petticoats out of, but I could hang them up on this wall to make it look nicer. Other thing I started thinking about, I think this is really ugly. There is no way we are going to purchase a new bed frame. So what I'm pondering is using this lace tablecloth to essentially replace the white mesh that is there. I don't think it has the structural integrity to do that on its own. I think I've come up with a solution. I'm going to take the drop cloth that we used when we painted the wall. It's actually a single duvet cover. I'm going to dye it, and then I will combine that fabric and this tablecloth into new upholstery stuff. At least that's the idea. I have absolutely no clue if it's going to work. Too small for this nonsense. You. This is not going well. Oh, ow, shoulder cramp.
Emily?
Yes.
You okay?
Can I have some help, please? I'm too short.
I just heard weird noises and was like, I'm a check.
I cannot reach. I can get to here. I had a very clever idea, which is if I don't need to put lots of hooks in, if I put enough hooks to hold the bamboo poles. So I need 6 centimetres in, and then another thing 115 centimetres from that, then a gap of 6 centimetres, and then another 115. And then we need to decide, no. Then we need to decide what we're going to do about if we're going to make like a little canopy one.
115, right?
Yes, please. I have dyed the fabric, and also slightly myself, because if you don't leave the process with some extra pigmented skin, were you even dyeing fabric? I'm going to put the curtains up along the wall, and I'm going to go have some lunch, because it's 10 to 4 and I haven't done that yet. So, the other night I thought I would be able to take the white mesh off of the head of this bed. Discovered I can't. So what we're doing instead is making like a little fabric cover thing to go over top of it. We've measured it up. I'm going to see if I can make it. And in the meantime, Hamish is going to put a blind up that we got for free. I measured out the headboard, transferring those measurements onto some spare fabric and cut it out. Then, using that as a pattern, I added some seam allowance and cut out the main structural fabric. I laid the lace tablecloth over top of that piece and used safety pins to secure everything in place, and then cut away the excess. After winding a new bobbin, I seamed all the pieces together, reinforced the seams a bit, and hemmed the bottom of the cover, adding some ties as I did so. Meanwhile, Hamish helped me out by putting up the bamboo blind. I slipped the finished cover on the headboard and used the ties to secure it in place, and I put up the final flowery curtain. Once again, it is a new day. Much progress has been made, and I feel it is now time for finishing touches. Well, well, there you go. We're here. And we have a beautified space. A lot of the mini projects that I took on while doing this ended up taking a lot longer than I expected them to. The chest of drawers particularly, just because I didn't realise how many layers of cheap silver acrylic paint it would take to make something actually look silver. This space feels really nice. It feels very cozy and homely. Part of my goal with all of this was to spend as little money as humanly possible. I think the only things that I actually purchased for this project: silver acrylic paint for the chest of drawers, I picked up some new bed sheets for the bed, and I also bought some new cotton rope for the bamboo blind that didn't actually arrive in time for me to use it. In total, I spent less than £20. Part of that is because I am the type of person who buys stuff for projects and then loses interest in those projects, so uses them for other things. Obviously, the lovely person who was clearing their late mother's place has my eternal gratitude for providing the furniture that let me do this project. Even the lace tablecloth and the cotton duvet cover that I used to make this, those also came from that person and from that house. It feels really like crisp and clean and cozy and put together, and I really hope I can manage to keep it tidy because I'm not the best at that. I'm so glad that Hamish persuaded me that painting that wall was the best thing to do. It makes such a difference to the space, and all of the things that are now up on that wall look so much better. A bit of an undertaking, but I'm really glad I did it. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like. You liking my content helps me get it out to new people, which is very cool. If you enjoyed this adventure and would like to see the other adventures I get up to, then check out my other videos or subscribe to my channel. I upload every week. Occasionally I skip a week because life happens. Thank you very much for spending your time here. I do really appreciate that people spend time watching my stuff when they could be doing anything else. I hope everything is okay in your world, and I will see you guys next time. This is literally the worst way to film because the layer's behind me. So if we throw this on as well. Very little. Oh, dark and moody.
Tallest.
My tallest. What is it? Oh, what is it? Come on, brain. You can words. I believe in you. Oh, I'm recording. Of course I'm recording. I started the recording. That's how that works.